Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and our home team. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and our home team. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the gun, Kyle. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now one in the first quarter. What do they do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move.
But nowhere to go. Here he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. 20, 10. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They'll run on first down. Sheffield. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now they'll run on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. Throwing on 3rd and long. Kyle. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. That's pulled in at the 32. "35 yards on the return." Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Push him back. Push him back.
They'll try the left side. Mabry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage turtles, but also throwing the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. Right back to him on 1st down. And Owen coughed it up.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. But a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. From 13 yards out. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score. And then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Kyle, and he's going to go down again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the 1st half, this is just complete domination. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. The Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That's what I'm talking about. Sacks.
But maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
Look at me. Zipper. Get it.
On second down, Mabry. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with third down coming up. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. The Raiders try it on fourth down, but to no avail. And the Broncos will take over on downs. The D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Second and long. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And some room to maneuver. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Yeah, what do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. 2nd and 2. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And they'll be inside the red zone with the ball at the 16-yard line. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers, it's not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhyme with skill.
Come on.
With desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
On third down, Mabry. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive.
Hey, exit.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Down. 60 outlaw. Coming this way. Here we go.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Kyle. And that will be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
This is taken at the 15. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime and make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. And they give this time to the tailback. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. Touchdown! A big play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point right down the middle.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop me out.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Kyle going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Back to throw. Kyle.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those 2 hands over his head, that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And he'll take it just outside the 40. 51 yards on the punt there. And that will come the offense as they take over. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there. Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
5 plays there on that drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in there.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Looking to throw. Kyle. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. He'll take it at the 42. And they can't bring him down. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
I'm going to run you over. Check 3, check 3, check. Topper!
Now a handoff here to his running back. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A 22-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. A final shot before break. Kyle. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you to our EA studios in Orlando. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So here are the Raiders now to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. Mabry. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time. Forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Mays. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. And he'll give it here to his running back. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Yes, yes.
On 2nd down now. Mabry. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
Let's go. 10-2 stuff. Hand kick. Let's go. He's checking. Go.
They'll keep it on the ground. Mabry. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Look at me. Zipper. Choose the mic. Rip left. Hey, check 24. Check 20. Hey, Alpha. Check nickel. Go.
Now they try the right side here. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Go.
Now a give right side. Mabry. And some room to work. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Looking to throw. Kyle. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And to give this time to the tailback. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
They'll keep it on the ground. Mabry, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Crunch. Hey!
Now a handoff looking right, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun.
There he goes left side. And all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So the Broncos coming out now. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd and long. Kyle. It got his man complete. The 20, 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A big play there. Yards. And the Broncos are able to at least make things a bit more respectable. Point after, right down the middle. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
On 1st down, Mabry. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
2nd and 1. And this is caught at the 8.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. With touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. As his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point right down the middle. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. He'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well, and a 1st down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Kyle, he's going to take off with it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 4. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. On 1st down, Kyle, that's complete. It's Collins. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Looking to throw. Kyle. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says? Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now they try the right side here. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
Now. Get it.
They'll try the left side. Mabry. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Mabry. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Throwing on 3rd and long. Kyle. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Operating from the gun. Kyle. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the home team here, they remain as hot as anyone. 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get